So what's really exciting is we actually have 2 push periods coming up. So not only do we have a division push period, but we have something called SLC. Now, I love SLC because it's the one time of the year that we're in a competition, not just with the division, okay, not just with the region, but it's a national competition. Right? Every single manager is going to be there. Even the top people in Olean are going to be there. The president's going to be there. It's pretty awesome. And we have a chance to be nationally recognized. Right? And so what's cool is we get dual competitions right now. Imagine being able to take a trophy not just at the division level, but able to take one in the nation. How awesome would that be to be able to put it right here? It's going to go right here, guys. Because you see it already? Our national trophy right here on our table. It's going to be pretty cool to bring one home. All right, but more importantly, if our office succeeds, okay, when we take that trophy at the division meeting, right, and when our office is up on stage competing for the SLC trophy, what's more important is if our office succeeds, that means every person in this office is doing well as well. And that's what's even more important, because I want to make sure that each of you are succeeding at the best levels. I want you guys to be able to challenge yourself in the next couple of weeks. All right, so how are we going to do this, okay? I have 3 keys on making sure that you go big for this push period. So make sure you get these down. All right, the biggest reason why I want you to have a big push period, though, is it's going to just kickstart your fall. Okay, this is the 2nd week of the fall so far. We still have a ton of weeks to go. We have, I think, 14 more weeks to go. So imagine being able to go big for the next 2 weeks and really setting up this fall the right way. Now, my first key to making sure that we have a huge push period is you need to prepare this weekend. This weekend is all about building, okay? I want you to write that down. This weekend is about building, right? Because right now, everyone is doing appointments to get tons of recommendations because next Monday, it begins. All right, push starts on Monday. So imagine being able to get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 new recommendations by Monday. How much more fun is phone time when you know you have 50 people waiting to hear from you? All right, that's why this week is important. It's about building that momentum. All right, the second key that I have for you is your schedule. You need to know how to make sure that you have a set schedule. If you need help planning out your schedule because you have so many things going on, you have school, then you have extracurricular activities, call me, talk to me. I'll have you come into the office. It takes about 10, not even 10 minutes for me to go over the schedule with you. All right, but I want to be able to map out your schedule. I want to know when you have to go to school, what time you're planning on studying, and so we can do a little bit of a breakdown. What's your goal? You know, how much do you want to sell in the next 2 weeks? And I'm going to break it down to see how many demos you can do, right? And then we're going to break it down to how many phone calls you have to make. So we really know how much work we're going to put into it. But the biggest key is you just have to execute your plan, okay? The plan's going to sit there, but it's not going to move unless you're moving, okay? So one of the biggest things is you have to stay focused. Now, how do you stay focused? You're like, well, Jamie, that sounds great, but how am I going to stay focused in the push period with school and everything else going on? All right, you just have to commit yourself. That's the biggest thing that you need to do for this push period. You have to commit yourself by remembering why you're doing it. What is the reason you're going to push yourself for the next 2 weeks? What are you going for? It could be something like going for key staff. All right, everyone in my Rising Star group, work hard the next 2 weeks. I want to build our key staff so it takes up this whole wall. Imagine how big our team would be and how strong our team would be if this whole wall was filled with key staff members. Imagine how much fun that's going to be as a key staff. I want to be able to give those promotions out from this next push period. My key staff members, Alexa's like, yeah, that'd be awesome, right? So I want to start building the team and making, having anyone who's not on Rising Star, let's get you on Rising Star. All right, so the next push period, we can get you to key staff. What are you aiming for? Maybe you want to buy a new laptop this semester, right? Debbie was pretty cool. The last push period, you used the money to buy yourself a new laptop before school started, right?
Yeah.
How awesome is that, being able to go in, buy your own laptop, and you know that you worked for it? What is the reason you are doing this? Because if you have a real reason that counts and that matters, you're not going to have a problem staying motivated. Right? And the other thing is, if you're someone who just needs to be able to be in competition, I always loved having an accountability partner. I think it's so much fun when you can have someone else to help you out, but at the same time you guys are talking smack. Right? I used to do this all the time during push periods. And I remember I do it with a manager sometimes, and then sometimes I do it with other key staff members, or maybe even a Rising Star. I just found someone else that I knew would challenge me. And I would go up to them and say, hey, you know what, Amelia, my goal is 10 grand. What's yours? My goal is $5,000. What's yours? And every single time I talk on the phone, hey, what are you at? Oh, well, I sold this today. You better start catching up, Amelia. Right? Talking that smack, but at the same time, whenever I was feeling lazy or maybe she felt lazy, I'm like, hey, no, we got to keep going. Imagine you and I on stage. Imagine us getting a push trophy. And by being able to have someone else on the team, not to just motivate you, But to also challenge you, you guys are going to have an amazing push period. So the biggest thing is you guys have to remember, right? Just prepare ahead of time. Start building your base this weekend so that next week you're ready with tons of people to call. Meet with me, meet with Amber, let's go over your schedule, and let's start taking some action. If we do that, guys, not only are you going to have an amazing push period, but our team's going to rock it at SLC.